Hello, are you ready to learn about wine today? Well, I hope so, because today I'm going to teach you the 5 elements that make up wine. So get ready. Okay, so the first component today that I'm going to talk to you about is the component of sweetness. Sweetness, the sweetness of a wine comes from how ripe the grape is. So the riper the grape, the sweeter the wine. Pretty much, wine starts from grape juice, and once you get grape juice, you go and take the juice into a fermentation stage to where, once fermentation is complete, the sugar that's left in the juice is turned to alcohol. So that whole process is called fermentation, and that's one of the first important parts to making the wine. You have dry wine and you have sweet wine. Your sweet wines are the wines where sugar isn't fully taken away from the grape in the fermentation process. But when dry wines, that occurs when all the sugar or most of the sugar is taken out. So that's how you get dry and sweet. The second element is acidity. Acidity is responsible for the tartness and the zing of the wine. It provides the refreshing and the balance, that gives you the It's also responsible for the longevity of a wine and the ability for the wine to age. Lighter body wines that are zesty and tingly on the tongue gives you a good feeling of most crispness. Now, the lack of acid in wines are not really receptive too well. They're called flabby wines or flat wines. Typically, those wines have no type of bounce or no type of crispness to it that you get from acidity. The third component or the element that we're going to discuss is tannins. Tannis. Tannins. What are tannins? Tannins are chemical components that derive from larger compounds called polyphenols. Red wines, and typically is going to have the majority of your tannins. And tannins can come from the skin of the grapes, because if you get past the skin of a grape, the inside of the grape is the same color. The only thing that separates the color of the grape is the skin. So you have a lot of physical compounds that's within the skin, and as well as the stems of the actual grape stem. Both you will find tannins in the skin as well as the stems. And if you wanted to get a feel for how tannin feels in your mouth, it's bitter. It's not really, it's noticeable, but it's not like good. Tannins, if you was to put a tea bag in your mouth and taste it, and tannins kind of gives you the same feel, the same taste, and it's like makes your mouth dry. It's like an astringent, if that makes sense. It dries your mouth out like a tea bag. But you will find some tannins that are in white wines as well as rosé. Tannins play a big part, just like the acid component in wines, of the wines aging properly. And it also, you can find health benefits in drinking wines that are full of tannins because of those polyphenols that give antioxidants and anti-inflammatory elements that you can get from drinking a glass of wine. That's why they say 1 glass of wine a day keeps the doctor away. The fourth component is alcohol. Alcohol occurs when fermentation is done and all the sugar comes out of the grape. Once that process is done, like I said before, that's how you go from sweet to dry, and obviously more alcohol. You have light body wines that typically have lesser alcohol. You have medium body wines. You have full body wines. You can compare a light body wine to like drinking water. That's how it feels on your mouth. But a full body wine or a medium to full body wine, it kind of feels like milk or cream. It's a creamy type of feeling that comes with that. And those wines typically has the most alcohol in it. The alcohol component, it allows the aromas of the wines to actually be noticed. Because when you are trying to figure out the properties of wine, you need your nose as well as your tongue. And the alcohol brings that out to where you're able to notice the things that your tongue won't notice. And the last component is body. Body, basically, as I said before, is determined based upon how much alcohol is in it. You know, if it's lesser alcohol, you got a light body. You know, typically more fruitier wines, and you have the more, less sweeter wines, full bodied, a nice mixture of agedness and oakness. Those typically are in the wines with alcohol. So these are the 5 elements of wine. So use your new knowledge that you got today and make sure that you go to the store and find you a nice, well-balanced bottle of wine so you can identify these elements that you learned today. Good luck. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Taste the Gourmet. And make sure you share this information. This is good information. I'm the WineBoss. Until the next time, I'm out.